Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Insha'Allah, you are all well. Okay, let's get on with it. So, this deprived as a child, white privileged card carrying, attention seeking son of a convict Australian comic who's making up for his long crippled childhood recently made a disgusting, very funny joke about the 52 New Zealand Muslim martyrs brutally gunned down by a neo fascist white terrorist as they prayed in a mosque. Here's a clip. So you're all thinking, where's the bloody joke, right? What joke? Believe me, there is no joke. A joke is meant to be funny, right? Besides, it's not worth my time, really, editing it in. If you want to see it, you can go on YouTube. It's all there. But to save you the trouble, it's an unfunny, not particularly creative joke about him not having a taxi ride home from the club because all the taxi drivers had been apparently killed at the mosque shooting. Oh my God, I'm dying. My belly is splitting open. This is too much funny. Ha ha ha. Now can I have a professional contract, please? No. Are you kidding me? Offense aside, is this what passes for comedy these days? Come on, be honest. Do you even find that even remotely funny? Anybody? Show of hands, please. Yeah, maybe if you're in a coma with a sense of humour of a dishcloth. Yeah, I've literally heard better jokes from an autistic 6-year-old. So you're telling me that this person is not just a pathetic individual, but he's also not very good at his lame excuse of a job, which is to make people laugh. Now that is funny. Look, Mr. Comedian, if you're going to try and offend us sensitive, beardy, weirdy, circumcised Muslims, well, the very least you can do is make us laugh. After all, in a day full of wife-beating and head-chopping, even us Muslims need to relax with a shisha and a joke. Come on, is that too much to ask of a professional clown? Isn't that what you're being paid for? The more important reason I didn't show you the joke is because the joke is not what matters. Everybody thinks that the joke is what matters. No. The joke and this C-list attention-hungry clown that no one's heard of, desperate, begging for publicity like a street caller, just so he can buy a flash car and a big house to live in, is utterly irrelevant. He's just another idiot who's looking for his 5 minutes of fame, will milk the controversy and disappear with a paycheck. I sort of get that. That is just how the world works at the moment. Sadly, it's true, but we have all become super materialistic. We put fame and money before doing the right thing. This clown, therefore, is no exception. The reason I showed you the crowd reaction is because that's what we need to be focusing on. That's where our attention needs to be, my brothers and sisters. That's why I don't even care for a second if this clown's an Islamophobe or not. I'm sure by now he's made his excuses and said that he's not. He could be, or he might not be. What I'm saying is that's beside the point. Comics, clowns, whatever you want to call them, are idiots by profession, so they will do idiotic things for fame and traction. But the crowd don't have that excuse. My question is, why did they react the way they did? When a comedian says something offensive, it means we have one idiot in the building. When the crowd get offensive, then it signifies that the wider society has also become idiotic, and that is a worry. We all know what happens when societies go crazy against one particular group. No matter how outrageous and offensive a comic is, no matter how much he sanctimoniously pleads free speech, the right to offend, etc., no comic will intentionally destroy their own career. They may be twats, but they're not suicidal twats. What I'm trying to say is, a comic only really offends as much as he feels he is allowed to do, like a dog with its tongue out, ready to go and fetch a bone. Society holds the leash, and the comic plays within that boundary. What, do you think the organisers, the promoters, the venue and the crowd didn't know what they were getting themselves into? This dog just appeared out of thin air onto the stage and started barking away? Are you serious? It's a symbiotic relationship. The comic gets to make a living doing what he loves doing, being a retarded moron. And the crowd get to piss themselves standing in their clothes. But the crowd are the masters in this relationship, make no doubt. If they get offended or find that he's not making them wet enough, they can simply withdraw their business, and the clown or the slave is in trouble. It is my opinion, looking at the classy crowd reaction, whom all no doubt went to bed that night feeling proud of themselves for getting the subtle and complicated joke, seeing the applause and encouragement, that the comic is already aware that making offensive jokes about the brutal gunning down of Muslims attending Friday prayer at a mosque is now acceptable to society. He knows that he is now operating in a world where Muslims are fair game, and he has free rein and social license to emotionally rape his way through the Muslim community. He understands full well that the Muslims are now a special case. They are now in a separate category to the rest of humanity. They have been sent to I call it the naughty corner of the world, where a group of people who've done bad things go to for a while to sit as punishment, temporarily stripped of their human dignity, right to human equality, sanctity, civil rights offered to every other community. Just as Donald Trump knew when he brutalized Muslims to get elected, just as Narendra Modi knows now as he strips Muslims of equal rights under the law, and just as Aung San Suu Kyi knows as she aids the ethnic cleansing of Rohingya Muslims from Rakhine. Comics and other types of people know that they can do and say to Muslims what they can't say and do to anybody else. That's why, if you've got a score to settle with the Muslims, this is the time to make your move, boys. Give it your best shot. There is now an implicit understanding in the world that you can hurt and harm Muslims, and by and large, you'll pretty much get away with it, unless, of course, you are the unfortunate Chinese, who are, I'm afraid, not getting away with much. Okay, just for equality's sake, maybe we can let them have a small genocide or two, but nothing more than that. Oh, sorry, I meant re-education. What's all the fuss? Seriously, what's all the fuss? These vulgar, impoverished Uyghur Muslims are being re-educated. It is like the quaint 19th century English gentry finishing schools. They're being civilized to join the culture of the refined and the noble Han Middle Kingdom. And it's all happening in great centers of learning where award-winning courses like How to Be a Perfect Slave Labor Studies and How to Be a Good Organ Harvesting Citizenship Studies and the clinical science of self-sterilization are all taught around the clock. Lucky them. I have never seen so many people in power pretending to be blind in the face of a bigger tragedy since probably the Second World War and the Holocaust. Why is that the case? Because I think on some level they think they deserve it. The Muslims. It's payback time. So naturally, this is being fully taken advantage of. Who wouldn't? You no longer have to dally with the tiring pretense of fairness. Work within a laborious framework of impractical human rights and pretend to act within the law and be civil. In this new era, all you have to be is decisive, bold, nationalistic, a strong man. You don't have to worry about the consequences. That will come later. So in this historical window of opportunity, we are actually witnessing a wave of hostile, game-changing, finishing geopolitical moves aimed to permanently shift the facts on the ground against an ongoing Muslim adversary. Breaking the stalemate of decades, Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, has unilaterally carved up contested Kashmir and is suppressing Muslims in India, the biggest democracy in the world, without the world taking any notice. The Myanmar military have ethnically cleansed the Muslim Rohingya from Rakhine State in a move that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. The Israelis are literally unilaterally annexing Jerusalem and the West Bank with the consent of the Americans in a move so brazen you wonder what's going on. China is decimating and destroying and wiping away the Uyghur Muslims as an entity with absolute impunity and utter silence. in an act so catastrophic for humanity at large that it's only outshone by the shocking lack of reaction from the world. The leader of the free world, Donald Trump, is winning by demonizing the Muslims. All of the right, the far right in Europe, are using Muslims to gain power and enforce their new populist agenda. Now, politicians, comedians, commentators, media pundits, and so forth, they are not stupid. They know which way the wind is blowing. And unfortunately, this is how the world will be for the foreseeable future. So, just to recap, this small clown is not the issue as much as he wants to be. He is just not that important. He's just an ant in the bigger picture. Just another symptom of what's happening all over the world. Us Muslims are not some uber-sensitive, overly emotional Neanderthals who can't take a good joke. We just expect our jokes to be funny, that's all. And maybe some human compassion wouldn't be too bad, especially when it concerns innocent people being massacred the way they were. And, like all humans, we laugh when something is funny, we cry when we are in pain, believe it or not. And on this occasion, forgive us for not laughing. Because you wouldn't be either if you could see the writing on the wall. Thank you, my dear brothers and sisters, for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Positively Muslim YouTube channel and share as much as you can. You can also join us on Facebook now. We have a page there and group there, etc. The links will be below. So take care. Please stay safe. Bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.